subject of today's video. Now, for the purposes of this video, instead of using the word mindset, I'm going to use the word stories, because the stories that you tell yourself and believe in essentially make up the mindset that you have about life. Now, the thing is, without a proper story, it's pretty much impossible for you to get things done, at least consistently for long periods of time. And this is because your stories are actually your source of motivation. Let me explain. Before we had this whole worldwide crisis, most of us had a clear plan, a clear story that we believed in. And the most common story that people told themselves went something along the lines of, okay, I'm going to study hard, work hard, make good money, and this in turn will allow me to do whatever it is I think will make me happy. Whether it's to travel the world or to make my parents happy or to start a family or to grow a fulfilling business, that will make me happy. Right? Chances are most of us believed in some variation of this story. And because we believed in this story, we were motivated to study and to work and to be productive and all that because that was part of the plan. We believed that doing so would get us from point A to point B where happiness resides. But now that's not really the case anymore. Most of us don't have a clear idea of what's coming in regards to our community, in regards to the world economy, in regards to our own personal future. Most of us don't really believe in our old story anymore. But the thing is, without a proper story to believe in, planning for the future starts to seem pointless, right? What's the point of studying for school if you don't even know if your degree will be useful after you graduate? What's the point of working out and sticking to a diet when you don't even know if you'll be going to any social events or on any dates anytime soon? What's the point of staying away from your bad habits if there isn't a bright future waiting for you? And when you start thinking like this, it becomes near impossible to sacrifice instant gratification for your future self, because the phrase, "what's the point?" is going to be constantly lingering in the back of your mind. In order to combat this, you need to find a new story that you can buy into. And the only real requirements you have to keep in mind when crafting such a story is that number one, it should be a story that you find to be believable. And number two, it should be a story that inspires hope, where the future is better. Other than that, there are no requirements, which is why I can't tell you what story you should believe in. You sort of have to figure that out on your own. But if you're interested, let me tell you my story. So I believe that the virus is going to mess up the world economy on a scale that we've never seen before. This will cause us to enter the worst depression in modern history. Most of my family and loved ones, who are basically all from New York City, will have an extremely hard time finding work in the coming years, and it will be up to me to support them financially. Therefore, I must work twice as hard to create more videos and to take on more projects so I have a good source of income, to read up on the economy and to make smart investments so I can protect and grow my wealth, to stay in shape and to eat well so I can stay healthy, and to generally just be on my A game, because that's the only way I'll be able to protect my family. This is basically the story that I've been telling myself. Whether or not the premise of my story becomes true doesn't really matter, because number one, I believe it to be true, and number two, this is a story that has hope. I believe the future can be better so long as I put in the work, so there's hope. And because I have a story that meets these two requirements, I've been extremely motivated to work harder. In fact, I was working something like 20 hours a week on average for most of last year, but recently I found myself putting in more than 60 hours a week, all because of the motivation from this story that I tell myself. You gotta look at your surroundings, look at the facts, and craft the story that you can genuinely believe in that has hope. Tell yourself this story over and over again until you believe it, and then your motivation should return. And that's how you get things done when you're not in the right mindset. You basically have to change your mindset by finding a new story to believe in. Which brings us to the sponsors of today's video, Skillshare. One of the best things you should be doing right now with your free time is working on a skill that can generate you wealth down the line. And Skillshare is perfect for this.